Ah, Kirby, no! Kirby, how are you losing to an easy mini-boss? Oh god, Kirby, look out! No, there's a bomb! Ah! And in the span of 20 milliseconds, Kirby recovers. Hey, he blows himself up all the time. You really think that was going to get to him? Alright, so, butter building. It's actually the first full world in the game, because previously we had, well, technically levels with only 4 or 5 stages. Here, we have 6 stages, and that's going to be the number of stages we have for each level in the rest of the game. In addition, we'll also be, seeing a new, well, not really gimmick, but you'll see what it is in just a minute. Needless to say, you will see it quite a bit. I really don't have anything else to say other than you will see it a lot, trust me on this one. Also, I'm pretty sure I've already shut off mic, but hey, here, look, it's an actual section where we can use it, and it's actually helpful. See that switch over there? We're going to be seeing a lot of those. How do we get to it? Well, over here, of course. These are hidden switches, and true to their name, they are hidden. So, you usually just have to go through a small little detour in the stage to press the switch, and it will unlock a little something on the overworld that wouldn't normally unlock on its own. And that's pretty much all there is to this stage. And that was a point-blank mic. That was kind of painful, and I really hated that Bronto Burt, so that's why I singled him out and murdered his eardrums. Alright, so, let's check out what's in this arena. It's only the wheel mini-boss. Fairly not helpful in the slightest, but, you know, at the very least he's an easy mini-boss, so easy tomato, right? I really doubt this is going to come in helpful, but hey, you never know. Maybe, actually, I'm pretty sure I can't use it right. Yeah, this area does not look apt for this, so you know what? I'm just going to weaponize that star and call it a day. So, unlike Ice Cream Islands, butter building actually sort of keeps to a theme. Most of these stages are interior levels, and that pig is very annoying. Damn you, flying pig. Damn you. Actually, we should be getting a new ability soon. Is it in the next room? No, this is just a tower segment, damn. Well, I guess I just discarded fire for nothing. Yeah, well. This section isn't too bad. Of course, enemies do have a tendency to fall on your head, like this Waddle Doo. That's not going to take me by surprise, because I saw him coming. And Cutter. Cutter, actually, wait, why am I even using Cutter? It's not even that useful. Beam would have been a much more... Okay, that was actually kind of funny, but Beam would be a bit more helpful here, except now I'm done with a section. I have the best timing, don't I? Wait, is this area with the stone guys? I think this might actually be a pretty good area to show off what happens when you get two, well, not two of the same power, but 2 powers at once. You get Mix, and basically you're supposed to get a random ability, not the exact ability you sucked in. Well, not necessarily, but you get the point. That probably shouldn't have happened. And I'm pretty sure you can actually get UFO through that, so that's kind of cheap, actually. Hey, here, have a random UFO. Okay, didn't I just see you? Okay, apparently butter building is inhabited by a gigantic wheel, who keeps coming back over and over again, despite what everyone else wants him to do, which is, well, basically just leave and maybe make room for... Actually, I don't think there would be any good substitute, so wheel, good enough. Oh, hey, here's the ice guys. Knew it was in this stage. Okay, so these guys basically work like fire, except they have the same ability that Freeze does. So if I could just show that off... No, he wants to dive into the... Okay, I wasn't supposed to do that. You're supposed to slide into these blocks. Like so. That wasn't so bad, right? Oh shit, it's Bugsy. Bugsy is probably the toughest mini-boss in the game. Whatever you do, do not get grabbed when she does that little dash thing, because you will get hit. Very, very badly hit and damaged. In fact, laser is actually pretty ideal for this, because you don't want to be nearby Bugsy while she attacks. It's not a good idea. And that's what you get for doing a mid-air dash. Alright, this is Backdrop. Backdrop is not really useful, but it is cool as all hell. So, what does Backdrop do? It does this! His spine is broken, or at least it would be if the rest of his body didn't explode. Now, backdrop, I'm not too terribly good with backdrop. Okay, I am exceptionally bad with backdrop all of a sudden. You're supposed to charge straight into the enemy and then throw him into that guy, but apparently I can't handle that. This area is basically set up as sort of a practice area for this ability. Okay, I am really out of practice. Needless to say, I don't use this one very much. I think that's kind of obvious by this point. But it can come in useful if you're really good with it. It's just hard to be actually good with it outside of, well, that area. But, nonetheless, we move on. And I'm probably gonna ditch this. Surprisingly enough, I was very nearly killed. I don't know how that happened, but oh well, move along. Shoot, I don't remember this level exactly. I remember this section. In fact, I think there's actually a high jump dude down here. I want to use him because we haven't really used high jump that much. And you know what? We can use sword anytime we want, so you know what? High jump gets some love. Oh, it's one of these sections. This is actually a bit different from the NES version because there was actually a little scrolling section in the NES version, but the Game Boy Advance can't actually replicate that somehow, so it is just an area where you wait until fog clears up. Also, did you know this is a maze? I bet you didn't, because I could hardly tell either. Yeah, that was the maze. Basically, you go to the top as you probably would guess you need to, because, you know, it's building. We're going up for this entire thing. I'm gonna ditch high jump for high jump. Why not, right? I mean, high jump's cool and all, but I think it's time we show off high jump, right? Yeah, I think it's about time. Oh look! Cheating! And Kirby's like, fuck this, I'm cheating this entire tower. Just gonna use my warp star. And here's Meta Knight. He's kind of angry that Kirby just decided to skip all of that. He's, in fact, so angry that he is going to throw more soldiers at us, which he's pretty much going to do for the rest of the game. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of determined to take all these guys out with high jump, because why not, right? I will show off that high jump can be useful. If I don't fuck up, I'm not gonna fuck up. I'm gonna beat this guy with high jump. See? I almost had that. So there. That was Meta Knight's little ambush. Of course, we just happened to go up to the floor in which we are ambushed. Kirby, you couldn't have gone up one more story. Oh look, this is a wind section. And why did they put the pep brew in the more dangerous spot? Like, maximum health tomato is easier to get. That was kind of pointless, but anyway, that's how wind works. It pushes you up. Go figure. Never would have guessed that on my own. Oh dear, that's the last minigame. Alright, this is Quick Draw, which is the most similar minigame in this game. In the original game, this was basically a little Western-themed game, and it was all 2D. Basically, this game is more based off the Kirby Superstar version. It's basically the same... That was god-awful. It's basically the same game, you just have to get the timing right when the exclamation mark appears. Press as fast as you can, and hopefully you don't die. However, as I was saying, yeah, it's themed after Kirby Superstar's Samurai Kirby, which should be obvious, but... Yeah, you'll probably never see me actually win this game. I am terrible at Samurai Kirby, so... Hope you don't want to see me achieve victory in that one, because it's probably not going to happen. I could be wrong, but, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Ah well, regardless, let's just invincibility our way up this entire tower. That seems to be a theme. In some way, we just keep skipping up sections of this tower. We did the first time with a warp star, and this time it's with invincibility. And I believe this is the last mini-boss? I can't think of any other mini-bosses we haven't seen, but this is bonkers. He throws nuts at you, and then when he charges at you, he will stop in front of you and try to smack you with a hammer. But he's not too bad to beat, and for defeating him, you get the ever-so-useful hammer ability. As it says, you can pound in pegs with it, and it's also another ability that can destroy those metal blocks. And it is also incredibly powerful. And it's not even that slow of an ability to use, so I honestly can't think of a single drawback unless you really want range, which, you know, I don't think anyone would expect range out of a hammer in the first place, so I don't see a problem. Alright, I think there's actually a secret switch in this stage, too. I'll figure out where it is when I get to it, and that was an attempted ambush. But anyway, yeah, thing about the secret switches and the doors. You probably noticed by now that every time you beat a level, the door turns yellow. Now, that doesn't just mean you completed the level, that means you completed it 100%. Now, if a door stays right after you beat the level, that means you've missed a switch, so even if you don't know where the switches are located, which, you know, I do know where they're located because I've played this game about 1,000 times, but if you don't, it's a good signal when the door stays red that you probably missed something and you should go back. Okay, that's actually kinda dangerous, but still, there's no real point to it. It's just a replacement for another section that, again, how could they not replicate that? Anyway, yep, this is definitely another secret switch area. I remember now. I also remember that there are some Rockies up there that will attempt to ambush us because, I don't know, they hate us? I know they're here. Yep, I distinctly remember that because they always screw me over. And also, I'm sorry, Sword, but I'm keeping Hammer, and oh boy, a dark area. There are literally 2 of these in the game. No, I'm serious, there are only 2. And there is an ability exclusive to this area. See that ghost? He gives you an ability, but you know what? I'm not picking it up because there's no use for it. It's basically just so you can light up a room, which is not necessary. You can feel your way out through an area without the light ability. See? I figured out there was a wall there. I am going to use the ability later, though, so... it'll get shown off eventually, so whatever. And you know what? High jump? Still not picking you up. Even though this area is made for high jump, I'm keeping my hammer. I like the hammer ability. It's neat. So you know what? It's staying on my person until the end of this world, at which point I will reset and lose my power. Hammer, by the way, is also a very useful ability, especially in World... or Level 6, rather. Keep wanting to call it World. Alright, which... oh, hey, look, there's a 1-up right up there. I cheated you, game! What are you gonna do about that, huh, game? Huh? Nothing! You're not gonna do anything about that. Is this the first time this has happened? I think it might actually be the first time this has happened. In which case, fuck yeah! Finally made it. Alright, so, I'm just gonna go in here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show off the Warp Star real quick. Basically, it just leads you to previous levels. It's useful later on when there's a lot of distance between levels, and at which point it will actually be useful to just instantly go to an area. Alright, here we have Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. Now, most people say these guys are the most difficult bosses in the game, especially in Kirby's Adventure, actually, but I don't actually have that much of a problem with them. Both of them have at least 2 attacks each, one on the air when they're actually fighting you, and one when they're in the background. They might have 2 on the ground and 1 in the air, but I'm not quite sure about that. Also, both of them actually have their own copy abilities that they can give you, depending on which attacks you inhale. If you inhale something from the moon, then you get Cutter. If you inhale one of the attacks from the sun, then you get Fire. It doesn't matter which attack you actually inhale, just as long as they actually send out a star. In addition, even if you kill one of them, they can actually still attack and harm you, so do be wary of that. Apparently I wasn't wary right there, I just ran straight into the moon. But it hardly matters, now they're both dead. Kirby didn't actually have to kill either of them, he just wanted to destroy the sun and the moon to prove a point to all his possible subjects that he is a creature to be feared.